I promised this. I promised it, and I had it. I had it in the phone, and then life hit me like a truck, and then I forgot about it, and now here we are. I'm doing it now. I'm sorry in advance. Sup, Shubes? I'm Gravy Fries, and this is a video I promised a while back, and I had done, but something happened to it in the phone. If it was my old one, it got deleted. Not by me. Not by me. The phone, see, the reason it's an old phone and I'm on my third new one is because the old one would delete my stuff. But you're not here to hear that. You're tired of waiting. So let's start talking about PAL, the Principal Assistant Learning. If you've seen Randy, of course, the episode Fresh Principal of Norrisville High. They had a program that was brainwashing everyone, and I believe Slimovitz called it Todd. I don't think there's a reason behind that, but I thought it was a very interesting idea, and I feel like it shouldn't have just been a throwaway thing. So essentially this video is going to be discussing how it would be in other franchises, and just genuinely the stuff they could still do with it if the show does come back. I think it's very likely that the show's coming back, given just the attention that it's been getting lately. I take a little credit for that, mainly because I was talking about it 24/7, even when people didn't want to hear me. But let's get into this. Firstly, it would still be terrifying. In general, like, I feel like it could be weaponized very easily, given it weaponized itself just to try to make Randy and Howard behave. Personally, I think it could be used by Viceroy and cause some serious problems for Norrisville. I feel like that could be a really cool concept they could go into. Like, maybe Viceroy finds it in, like, the dumpster and uses parts of it or its programming to create a brainwashing device. I mean, what if he used it on Randy? God knows what kind of crazy things he could do with it. Using it on the ninja, using it on all of Norrisville, using it on robots to, like, brainwash the ninja and then kick his butt while he has no idea what's going on. I'm sure there's other ways it could go that I'm not even thinking of right now. The possibilities are endless. Personally, I believe it will be used to mess with someone's mind in some way, because look at what it was able to do to these poor kids. Imagine if it was in, like, Mystery Skulls, for example. Obviously, none of those people are mentally stable. One's a lunatic, one gets possessed, I mean, very, very easily. One's got such a rage problem. I'm telling you, if that thing was there, it'd probably be the only thing that could make them even close to calm. And just imagine how bad that would be. You have a ghost that's brainwashed and will do your bidding. That's terrifying, especially given he could burn everything. Then you've got Epithet Erase. Now that one's an interesting topic. You have a program that you know can brainwash people. You know it can control them fully and alter their way of thinking, because it did it in the episode. And they all have powers. And to actually quote a meme I saw about Giovanni, man, if I actually knew what I was doing, I'd be pretty terrifying. And you want to know what? Given in this case, if it made him competent to be brainwashed, yeah, that'd be scary. It's like Lapis Lazuli, but with more soup and salt. It's just not. It's terrifying to think of. Personally, I actually based something that's going to be in my comics soon off of PAL. I thought it was really cool and kind of went overboard, but I'm very excited for you guys to read that. But until that shows up, which, you know, it's gonna be a while, so get ready for some waiting, I highly recommend reading my Angel of Fire comic. That's what I'm gonna be talking about now. In Angel of Fire, that thing would just have a field day, because there's going to be more characters showing up. Like, there's one that's going to be... Courtney's showing up real soon. I think she shows up in Volume 3. Yeah, all of them are a mess. They all need mental help and a therapist for their therapist. Especially, Angie's brother, may he rest in peace. But, seriously, like, read my comic for just 5 seconds and you'll see these people need help, and this is not the kind of help they need, and God, it'd probably mess them up even more. No, I know that it'd mess them up even more. If it did it in Space Hotel, that's another one of my comics. If it did it in Space Hotel, like, I mean, it'd basically be like Epithet Erase, because some of them have powers. I knew I'd be like the most boring one out of all of them. No. Now, Lobbyist is the threat. Lobbyist is the problem. Okay? Because you don't have to believe me if you don't want to, but it's canon. Lobbyist is a freaking demigod. This guy has powers like a demigod. He can pretty much do whatever he wants. There's minor limits because I've never liked the whole, you know, OP with no weakness type of thing. He has kryptonite. It's just not much, so he's still terrifying. So I was trying to make it a kid's book, so I was like, no, nobody's gonna notice that I didn't give him much of a weakness. Now I'm realizing if he was in other universes, he would be a genuine threat. And then you just put in Pal brainwashing this man. Just, he'd be horrifying. I mean, he'd probably fight it back. I don't know a lot of characters who would be able to fight back influence like that. I mean, for God's sake, the entire school was brainwashed. Nobody could fight it off. And before anybody says, well, Randy and Howard got out of it eventually, that's just because Slimovitz managed to trick them into doing something that broke the program. If he hadn't done that, they'd still be brainwashed. That's a terrifying thought, man. Like, just because they were questioning stuff doesn't mean they were almost out of its control. It's like, you see those evil organizations that brainwash their grunts. They question stuff. They still are loyal to them. It's terrifying to think about, but very, very interesting as a writer. That's really all I've got. I mean, Mao Mao's pretty simple. They'd basically just straight up brainwash everybody. Nobody in that show has a strong mind at all. But that's all I've got. I know this took forever. I'm sorry. I really am trying to get everything done so I can finally just go back to doing just the comics. And I have something else I'm excited to do. I've been wanting to do it for years. Thank you so much for being patient with me. And I'll see you shoobs later.